What's up, guys? It's your boy TB here. We're gonna be talking about Bama and Clemson a good bit today. For me, it's the whole what's next for these guys, and I'm not gonna dog them. And the reason I'm not gonna dog them is because they're still better than 70, 80% of the 90% of the programs in America, 95% of whatever. Clemson, yes, they're struggling with a few things, but we're gonna start with Alabama. Alabama loses to Texas. And everybody says that Texas just beat one of the greatest teams in college football. I said they have a good program, great program. But as far as their team right now, they're not as great as everybody's making them out to be. Because tell me this, if you put Quinn Ewers on Bama's team, is that a close game? If you had Quinn Ewers playing for Texas and Quinn Ewers playing for Bama, no. Quinn Ewers played lights out and they won by whatever it was, 10. Bama's quarterback played like dumpster juice, and they lost by literally 10 points. Anyways, that's my point. You could have given them Cade Klubnik. They'd have done better than that. So I don't know if you guys know, but they just announced that Tyler Buckner will be getting the start for Bama, and I called this. They went into this game knowing that they had a game to lose. They know that they're still a top 10 team in the AP poll. All Tyler Buckner has to come in and do is be a game manager, which I think he'll do. Will he be a great one? I don't know. We'll see. But he's got a lot more weapons around him than he did at Notre Dame. And all he has to come in and do is just hit the little short routes, hit the rub routes, hit the little halfback out or the little flail route or the screen. Just that's all he's got to do. All right. You know, he didn't have to go out there and throw for 350 yards. He didn't have to. The team is good enough that all they need is somebody not to throw 3 interceptions, not to go 4 of 10 for 33 yards at one point in the game. So anyways, as far as Bama playing Anthony Richardson at quarterback or Anthony Richardson 2.0 at quarterback, we saw how that panned out. And so Florida didn't have a choice. That's why they had to play Anthony Richardson. Bama has a choice. So we'll see how that goes. I think Bama with a better quarterback is a much better team. I think we all agree. Anybody with a better quarterback is a much better team. But definitely Bama, just because of their roster and how talented it is, the star power that's on it. And, just because it's Bama, right? That's what everybody says. So anyways, that's all I'm saying. Texas may be a very good team, but you went out there and you had to go toe-to-toe all 4 quarters with a Bama team that had a terrible quarterback. Not a below average, a terrible quarterback. Terrible quarterback. Anyways, moving on to Clemson. Clemson, Mr. Dabo Swinney, taking his step in the right direction by gaining a Garrett Riley, a whole Garrett Riley, which is great. And I figured out the other day that they destroyed Charleston Southern. I was like, well, man, you know what? Let me go and watch that game. Let me go watch the Charleston Southern game versus Clemson. That's awesome. That's great. Heard you guys blew them out. First quarter, I'm sitting here watching, and I'm like, okay, so Charleston Southern scores. Okay, Clemson doesn't score. Okay, well, no, Charleston Southern scores again, if I'm right. Charleston Southern gets an onside kick. Anyways, my point is Charleston Southern was whooping that tail for a good bit. Now, is the star power on Clemson's team through the roof? Yes. And eventually what happened? I think it was a pick 6 that happened. They ended up getting a fumble recovery, and then ended up scoring right then and there. But, I thought Clemson went in and just straight destroyed Charleston Southern from the get-go. No. Y'all thought Georgia had a slow start against bad teams? Go watch that game, man. They got way more problems than I thought. Anyways, Charleston Southern, I do want to say this about their coach. Shout out to him. Thought this was really, really neat from him. He had this whole deal the whole week about, having the faith of a mustard seed. And I'm a big Christ guy. I know I don't come on here and just say it all the time, but anyways, they ended up, saying the verse in the Bible that speaks on a mustard seed. And I thought that was really cool for on a national, a televised game like that, for them to, him being able to do that without forcing it, getting them to bring that up on TV. I thought that was cool. But away from that, Clemson, 2 great running backs, A++. Both, any NFL team would be happy to have Will Shipley or Phil Maffa. Those guys are nice, and they're good in their own way. That's great. You can tell Garrett Riley's starting to figure out more and more how to use his weapons on his team. I said that would happen. I said that would. But Clemson has Florida State coming up. A lot of people think Florida State's going to destroy them. Me personally, I think it's going to be a better game than people think. Even though Clemson has started off slow, their first few games, I think away from that, what we are going to see is a Clemson team that's going to come out pissed off. And not saying that, they're anything to be scared of, but I'm saying Clemson's going to come off pissed off and they're going to punch Florida State in the mouth. Now, I know Florida State will punch back, but I think for me, I'm just really curious to see how Garrett Riley calls this game. I think even though Florida State has a really good team, Garrett Riley has played better defenses. There's a team that he played last year that destroyed, just absolutely murderized the team that he was coaching for. So we'll see, though. Very curious to see how Clemson plays that game. Very curious to see how Dabo goes. And hopefully by the end of this year, Dabo will fire a few more of his buddies and start bringing in some bigger coaches, at least more valuable coaches. So anyways, what's next for Bama is, upgrading the quarterback position. You could literally have a 5-star freshman on your roster and start them, and they do better than the quarterback you just put out there. With Clemson, you just got to be able to put drives together. I mean, we saw, against Duke, they were able to put drives together, but not finish. So putting the drives together and finishing go hand in hand, I feel. And I think that's all that they're missing. I think they have the defense, they have the roster, they have the star power, which is good. But not being able to put all of it together is what we're seeing is spurts of being really good and then spurts of being really, really bad. So there you have it. That's what's next. So peace out. Check out my other videos. I'll see you guys later.